Take a slow breath. Let your shoulders relax and allow yourself to settle into the truth you've been holding inside for far too long. Because today, we are talking about something powerful. Something every strong woman eventually learns. Something that exposes a narcissist more than any argument ever could. Her silence. Her silence is louder than every lie he told. Louder than every excuse. Louder than every manipulation he thought she didn't notice. And if you're listening to this today, maybe it's because your silence is beginning to speak too. Before we go deep, make sure you subscribe, because these messages are here to support your healing. And if you feel guided to help this channel grow, the donation link is in the bio. You can also explore spiritual tools and products at chosenbeing.com. Now, let's begin. The moment silence begins. A woman's silence never comes suddenly. It comes slowly, gently, after too many nights crying alone. After too many times explaining emotions no one cared about. After too many apologies she made just to keep peace. I remember speaking to someone who told me she stayed quiet during arguments, not because she agreed, but because she knew explaining herself was pointless. She said, every time I tried to tell my truth, he twisted it into another lie. So one day, she stopped trying. And that day, everything shifted. When a woman stops defending herself, when she stops clarifying the truth, when she stops correcting the lies, she isn't giving up. She's waking up. Because silence isn't weakness, it's evidence. A narcissist survives through noise, arguments, drama, accusations, confusion, chaos. They need you to react. Your reaction is their oxygen. Your confusion is their comfort. But your silence is a mirror they cannot escape. A man once told me, she changed after she went silent. But the truth was different. She didn't change. She simply stopped feeding his ego. She realized he wasn't misunderstanding her. He was manipulating her. Once you see that clearly, silence becomes your greatest power. Silence makes his mask slip. A narcissist uses lies like makeup. Thick, layered, artificial. But silence wipes it all away. Because when you stop talking, he can't twist your words. He can't blame you for his actions. He can't hide behind fake tears. He can't drag you into another circular argument. Silence forces him to face himself. And that's the one thing a narcissist can't handle. I remember another woman telling me, he used to yell louder when I stopped answering. Of course he did. Because silence exposed him. Silence shows who truly cared, and who only cared about control. Silence is when your heart chooses itself. Most women don't become silent because they stop loving. They become silent because they start healing. Your silence is not empty. It's full of truth, full of clarity, full of boundaries you should have had long ago. You realize you don't need to explain disrespect. You don't need to justify feeling unheard. You don't need to argue with someone who enjoys hurting you. You don't need to fix someone who breaks you repeatedly. Silence is the moment your spirit whispers, "Enough." His lies can't survive without your reaction. Narcissists don't fear being wrong. They fear being exposed. And the moment you stop responding, his lies lose their power. His stories fall apart. His manipulation becomes obvious. His charm stops working. He starts telling people, "She's acting strange. She's not the same anymore. She's being cold." But none of that is true. You're not cold. You're aware. You're not distant. You're done. You're not quiet. You're finally listening to your intuition. Silence is where your strength returns. There's a stage in healing where you don't want revenge. You just want peace. You want quiet mornings. You want soft energy. You want simple love. You want a life that doesn't drain you. And silence becomes your doorway into that new life. One woman told me she used to talk for hours, trying to explain her pain. But after she left, she found more healing in 2 minutes of silence than 2 years of conversations. Because silence is honest. Conversations with a narcissist are not. What silence means to him versus what it means to you. To him, your silence feels like punishment. To you, it feels like protection. To him, silence feels like rejection. To you, it feels like freedom. To him, silence feels like losing control. To you, silence feels like finally gaining yourself. A narcissist never cared about your voice until you stopped using it. You become untouchable. When a woman reaches the stage where she stops arguing, she becomes untouchable. She doesn't break down when he leaves. She doesn't panic when he withdraws. She doesn't chase the closure he never gave. She doesn't react to the lies he spreads. Why? Because she's seen the truth. And once a woman sees the truth, she can never unsee it. Her silence becomes her shield. Her intuition becomes her guide. Her self-worth becomes her anchor. She becomes a woman he can no longer manipulate. Your new chapter begins in silence. Silence is not the end of your story. Silence is the beginning of your power. It's the moment you realize God didn't let the truth break you. He let it wake you. You begin to feel lighter, clearer, stronger, more aligned, more loved from within. And the lies he told, they lose their meaning. Because your silence was louder than all of them. If this message spoke to your soul, take a moment to breathe deeply and honor how far you've come. You don't need to shout your worth. You don't need to argue your truth. You don't need to convince anyone of your value. Your silence already said everything. Don't forget to subscribe if you want more daily messages like this. If you feel guided, you can support the channel, link in the bio, and explore healing tools and spiritual products at chosenbeing.com. You are heard, you are seen, you are healing, and your silence is transforming you into the strongest version of yourself.